all things convenience era today. And if you don't know what the convenience era is, let me explain it to you. But first, I just want to share that I think the open motto for Sage Root should be eat real food, damn it. But I'll let that one go. That'll be our internal motto for a while. But let's talk convenience era and what that really is. So I define the convenience era as that period of time between the 80s, early 80s and 2000s when the food industry just exploded with crap. And I attribute this to the food industry really taking advantage of working moms. So this is that time period when we saw moms in the workforce more. And let me just preface this by saying it's not mom's fault that they went back to work. Like, by no means. My mom was a working mom, and I look up to her more than most people in life because of the dedication and everything that she put into her job and still raised a family. But because we had that shift in society, it caused the food industry, in my opinion, to just completely take advantage of the fact that women were now in a 9-to-5 job, or some women were in a 9-to-6 job, whatever, but they had to come home, get something on the dinner table quickly. And because we're still women, we still have that innate desire to want to provide and all of that. I mean, I still deal with that. I still want to provide for my husband and provide for my family. But so women had this, but then they didn't have the time. So the convenience era to me is that time when the food industry just said, we are going to exploit this and we are going to fully take advantage of the fact that women don't have time. So we're going to make everything chemically enhanced, and we're going to produce it at high speeds, and we're going to, pump out as much garbage as we possibly can, and people are going to buy it. And because we're pumping out so much, the price can be cheaper. So, I mean, ultimately, that at a macro level, that's a convenience era to me. This isn't a blame game. This is just a simple observation of someone that grew up in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. And I mean, go back and listen to my story. My favorite food growing up was Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I mean, by no means is that healthy for you at all. But that defined this generation. And I think and we all know, go out there and do research. We know what has come out of that era. And what's come out of it is obesity, diabetes, all these other diseases that have come out of it. I mean, you don't even know. I guess you don't know what you don't know until you start digging. And one thing that I didn't share whenever I went and talked about my story on the vlog, the podcast, all of that, is I didn't share with you my struggles with digestive issues or endometriosis or infertility. Those are all things that I struggle with. The biggest one, though, that I struggle with is acne. I mean, I had it as an adolescent, and now I have it as an adult, and I attribute it to the food I ate growing up. And again, this is no fault to my mom. This is no fault to any moms, working moms out there. This is just where society was back then. And now 30 years later, we're learning, oh crap, that wasn't good. So travel back to the farm, right? Let's go back to the farm era. In the 40s, 50s, 60s, everything came from the farm. Everything came from, you knew the crop that you put in the ground. You knew where your cows were in the pasture. You knew what your livestock was eating every day. And so when the natural way of life came to fruition and you ate those things, you knew what you were putting in your body. It came from the earth. It came from the seed you planted. It didn't come from anything chemically enhanced. And it literally, it was organic. And it went from farm to table. And I know we see so much of that now, like restaurants that promote farm to table and all that kind of stuff. And that's great. Like it literally comes from the farm to the table. And that's the way we lived. But when society started to shift and we started to get more fast-paced, we needed food to be fast-paced. So here come all these fast food restaurants. And when our food shifted from good, healthy, nutritious food to it just needs to be fast, we started to lose the actual importance of food. And so that, I mean, again, this is a very micro level, my opinion of what the convenience era is, but the convenience era killed us. The convenience era is the reason why we're seeing obesity, why we're seeing, higher rates of diseases these days. It's just, that's the reality. And I could get on a whole soapbox about societal classes and poverty levels and why the heck people in lower income areas, rural America, don't have access to good food, and what's cheap for them is actually really shitty. And I'm not even gonna call it food because it's not food. It's just this chemically enhanced crap. But that's all they have access to. And that's horrible. And I will tell you this, I probably will never run for politics, but if I ever did, that would be the platform I run on, is to get healthy, sustainable food to every corner of America, because it's absolutely ridiculous. And I know there's so many great organizations out there that are doing that kind of stuff. But anyway, back to the convenience era. So the reason I'm so passionate about this, and the reason that I kind of put the basis of my company, Sage Your Nutrition, on this, is because it's all I know. It's what I'm a product of the convenience era. I blame the food for so much of the things that are going on inside my body and have gone on, things that I've tried to correct with actual real good food. So that's what I try to teach clients. That's what I try to instill. That's what I want to expose you to, is real food. Just eat real food, and eat real food that's good for your body, because what's good for you, again, may not be good for me. So you got to test, you got to find those things out. But first and foremost, you got to cut the crap. Cut it out. Do your research. Realize that the stuff that says, oh, it's fortified with vitamins and all this, really? Is it? Or did they take vitamins out to put a chemical in? Because more than likely, that's probably what they did. And then it's not real food. It's processed. It's chemically enhanced. It's crap. I'm telling you, there's a really good book out there called Eating on the Wild Side by Joe Robinson. And it opened my eyes to... she went so far beyond just what, she didn't even touch on processed foods, because we all know those foods are crap. But what she did touch on were crops, and what brand of tomatoes are actually tomatoes made in a lab, and what brand is not. And sweet potatoes and all. She just went in depth into all these vegetables and fruits, and really which ones you should be eating, because which ones are chemically enhanced and which ones aren't. Corn was the biggest awakening for me. I mean, I haven't eaten corn in so long, just because I don't really need it. But what is interesting to me is that how much of our corn has been chemically enhanced over the years. So I urge you to like do your research, do your homework on that stuff. And like make a change for yourself, right? So do your research, make a change for yourself, and do it small. You don't have to do this huge change today. Like just go to the store and buy one organic thing. Like instead of regular apples, I'm gonna buy organic apples and bring them home. And I'm telling you, it will change. In addition to that, cut out one thing. So I'm gonna bring apples home this week and I'm gonna cut out potato chips. That's it, like just try one thing and it will change. I've got a client now that's in one of my group programs and she's making this change for herself. So she went out and she got, good food for herself and she brought it home and she put it in a basket and she told her family, I think she got 4 kids and her husband, and she said, this basket is mine. Nobody else touch it. I'm not asking you to eat my food. I'm not changing the way you're eating. I'm making the change for myself, and then I'm going to incorporate the rest of the family in that. Because that, honestly, sidebar, that's what my programs are. Implement it for yourself, and then it will bleed off into the rest of the family. But anyway, back to her story. She did that, and she noticed after about 2 weeks, her food was gone. But the chips that she had bought for the kids weren't touched. She was like, what the heck's going on? And the kids are like, Mom, we want your food. Mom, we don't want those chips. Mom, we'll take a protein smoothie for breakfast. Mom, can you put some oranges in my lunch instead of chips today? And she came to me and she's like, what the heck? She goes, I didn't even ask them to change anything. She goes, I just simply brought the food in the house. And I was like, yeah, exactly. You brought the food in the house. You exposed them to it. So they tried it and they liked it. So now she's working on getting the other junk out of the house. She's going to stop buying chips. She's going to, do other things to get some of the stuff that isn't good for them out of the house. So try that. Bring something good in, take something bad out, and see how it changes your family. Y'all, thanks for letting me go on my little soapbox today. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. I enjoyed talking to you all. I want you to engage, ask questions, leave comments, subscribe to this on YouTube, and just let me know how I can help you. If it's just whatever, just let me know how I can help you. And have a great day.